effective as possible, and just some common mistakes that I see. So first of all, your program needs to resemble your goals. Okay? If you don't have a program that doesn't really suit your goals, then what's the point of doing it? Because you're just going to be working on areas that you may already be good at. Okay? So it has to resemble your goals. Okay? Find your strengths, find your weaknesses. That's probably my next point, is too many will just work on their strengths and then not bring up their rear with regards to their weaknesses. So making sure weaknesses become strengths. So, for example, if you're an athlete that is really strong, but you're slow and you can't actually translate that strength onto the pitch, I would probably be focusing more on your power development and your speed. So making sure that you fill that cup up a little bit more than just focusing on your strength. If you're just lifting slow, you're going to continually just improve your strength, but then that strength's not really that useful when you come into a contact sport where it's multi-directional, accelerations, lots of power-based movement. So we need to make sure that actually we're working on other areas, speed and power. Okay, so making sure that their focus is as well as the strength. Now, that doesn't mean don't do your strength, but you need to make sure that actually speed and power are a really pertinent point in your week. Okay, the next one is minimum effective dose. What I see, minimum effective dose. What I see a lot of is athletes just adding and not really thinking about how much volume they're doing in the week. So they'll see something on Instagram, they go, that looks really good, I'll add that into my week as well. And then it continues to go. So you may have your base program and then all of a sudden you're continually just adding, and then all of a sudden your week looks like 5 gym sessions. Those gym sessions have gone from 45 minutes to an hour and a half. And actually you're just adding so much volume that when it comes to performance, we're really on that fatigue side compared to freshness. We need to be fresh if we want real performance. So making sure that you're getting the most from the least amount of work, and we're really clever with how we structure that, how those sessions are made up. And again, we're not spending an hour and a half to 2 hours in a gym session. You don't want to be doing that in season. Maybe in the off season we can get away with obviously more volume, but making sure that there's a clear goal and we're not just doing more, because more isn't always more. Less is more sometimes, especially if we're looking to drive adaptation and get enough recovery between sessions as well. Okay, the next one is don't forget the C part, okay? Strength conditioning. We need to be making sure that we're placing emphasis on conditioning and we're not just focusing on the S part, okay, the strength part. We need to be really filling our cup with regards to our conditioning, and we're not just doing slow runs, we're looking to develop each energy system. Now, when you're playing and training, it's a little bit easier. Aerobic work off feet is going to be a great way to increase our conditioning in season. In the off season, in the pre-season, making sure we're doing some repeated sprints. We're working into our max threshold work. We're looking at our VO2 max. We're doing some maximal outputs from a power endurance point of view as well. So that may be 6-second sprints with 54 seconds rest. So we're completely recovered. We're implementing aerobic work as well. Just make sure that there's a real good emphasis. I like to use like the 80-20 rule. Maybe when you're doing a full body gym session, 20% of that time may be spent doing some conditioning as well, and then recovery days you can add in some more conditioning, whether that's after training, doing conditioning top-ups on the pitch if you feel like that's an area to improve. If you are like Mo Farah and can run for days, you might not need that, you might need more of that, but don't forget it altogether, because it's going to help you be able to last for full 80 and then be able to still express your strength, your power, your speed when it comes to the 78th minute. So those are my 4 points. Make sure your program resembles your goals. Make sure your weaknesses become strengths. Minimum effective dose, and then don't forget the C. If you apply those 4 into your program, you'll be onto a winner, so make sure you're doing it. And actually, before I go, if you need help doing all of that, Rugby Performance Program, link is in my bio, get on it. We have really limited spaces for one-to-one coaching, but your Rugby Performance Program, $19.99 a month, you'll be onto one there if you do that, and it applies all of that and takes care of all the thinking for you, so you don't have to do it.